You're listening to WPPN-LP in Philadelphia, and you're watching live on PhillyCam TV. I'm your host, Vanessa Maria Graber, and this is the People Power Lunch Hour. On today's program, we're going to talk to two members of the Touching Lives in West Africa organization. They've been working to empower underprivileged youth in West Africa by encouraging educational attainment and using educational tools. We'll speak with Sadiq Kamara, who's the president and founder, and also Mayali Kamara, who is the outreach director. Stay tuned for all that and more on this edition of the People Power Lunch Hour, a weekly show produced by PhillyCam staff to empower our community, talk about social issues, local organizing campaigns, and nonprofit organizations. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the People Power Lunch Hour. I'm your host, Vanessa Maria Graber, and for the next hour, we are going to be talking about Touching Lives in West Africa. It's a new organization that was founded earlier this year, whose mission is to encourage educational attainment for underprivileged youth in West Africa by using educational tools, supplies, and other charitable outreach programs that promote school attendance and success rates. They've been doing some really great work locally, including feeding the homeless and raising money for trips to Guinea to be able to serve youth in West Africa. I'm joined in the studio by Sadiq Kamara. He is the president and founder. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, ma'am, for having me.
You're welcome. And also we have Mayali Kamara, who is the outreach director. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, I'm going to start with you, Sadiq. Tell us a little bit how this organization got started. It's a new organization.
Yes, ma'am.
And you've been going hard, judging by your website and your social media, to promote awareness, raise money, and let people know about what's going on in West Africa with children who are trying to go to school.
Thank you for having me again. This organization has just started in January. It started by just me taking the opportunity in this country and the advantage that we have here to help kids in West Africa. I've seen a lot of struggle and I read a lot of articles, and I've seen it myself when I went down to Africa, how the kids are very unfortunate for education and supplies. So I took the initiative with my team and the vice president and everybody else that's willing to help us to, definitely the youth or the next generation, to help out the kids in West Africa. So just one country at a time. So we just started in January. So we just want to reach out to the community.
And you were born in Guinea?
Yes, I was born in Liberia. Yeah, and today is actually the Liberian Independence Day. So
happy Independence Day,
Liberia, okay?
To all our Liberian friends who are out there in the community.
So I just want everybody to know that.
Great. And so you all are young people.
Yes, very young.
We don't see a lot of young CEOs or presidents in here.
Yeah.
What put you on this path to say, I'm going to start my own organization?
Well, like you said, I'm very young. I'm 23 years old. When I graduated from high school, I joined the military, and I'm still actually in the military now, in the Army National Guard. After that, I went to college for 2 years, got a degree in biology, and I still had in the back of my head, I want to help my people back home because all the opportunity we have here. After that, I joined the police academy. I graduated, and I'm actually a police officer in the state of Pennsylvania, and I have all these opportunities that we have here, and like I said, our youth and this next generation, we have to lead by example. So that's why I wanted to bring all the great leaders or the great youth in this country that are African or African American or Caucasian, just to come together and help out people that really need help back home in Africa.
I read something on your website that said, there's a struggle for Guinean families who face trapping children in the labor force to help sustain their families.
I'll take that one.
Can you talk more about that, Mayali?
Yeah, sure. Well, since most people over there you have to pay for education, since most people can afford it, they the kids stay at home to help out with the labor force, especially the girls. So if you look at the statistics for girls who are in school is less than men because they usually keep the girls home to work rather than going to school.
Yeah.
So there's actually 10 countries in the world that have a really high illiteracy rate, and Guinea happens to be one of them. And in all of West Africa, there's 7 countries in West Africa that are part of that statistic.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
And so it's shocking when we think of like things like smartphones and the internet and all of these technology tools that we have, and yet there's still people who can't read any of those things.
Yeah, and it's kind of unfortunate because like we have the opportunity to have that here, and the kids, like I was born in Africa and my parents brought me here and vice versa. So when we have that opportunity to come to this country to even get education, we take all the opportunity to become great because we know how it is, back home.
Yeah, and even here we think we have problems, but then you look around the world, some of the things that we're dealing with seem rather small. Some of the things that you wanted to do were to give children basic materials such as school supplies, uniforms, and books necessary. Why did you want to do that?
Because they lack just like as simple as that may sound to them. They don't have that. Like here, we can easily go to Staples or Target and buy school supplies, but for them, it's more important maybe to buy food, to put food on the table than buy your kids school supplies, which results in them ending up to stay home. And again, to pay the school fees, they don't have that money. Not everyone is
just the
that
basic
privileged.
stuff for like a pencil. Some of the kids don't even have that, ma'am. So
or textbooks. The schools don't provide
or notebooks.
textbooks. Like,
it's hard.
You posted some pictures about some of the conditions of the college, and the pictures show like almost looks like ancient classrooms.
Exactly.
With like wooden desks. I mean, the chalkboard looks like it was made like 100 years ago.
Exactly.
And there's like trash in there.
Yeah.
Where was this?
That picture is actually in Guinea.
that's the school that
we're trying to help.
in December.
Yes.
Is it a college or is it a?
Well, it's called College of West Africa, Guinea. It's actually a high school all the way to elementary school. That's just the name, but it's actually from high school, from 12th grade all the way to like kindergarten. So and they don't have enough resources. Even staff is low, and the school just started to open up, and there's a lot of refugee kids from Sierra Leone, Liberia, and all around Guinea that just want the opportunity to go to school. So they actually try even to help out. When I always keep a contact with the president, and they really need help,
And what was it like when you saw these images, or when you went there and saw it in real life?
Well, with the images, when we seen these images, it's really hard, and I feel really upset, and it make me want to even help them more. It motivate me when I'm sometimes tired to try to reach out, and even coming up here when I see these pictures and the kids, it makes me want to even work more to even help them.
Especially because they still want to learn, even though they have those types of conditions. They're still eager to learn, so it just makes me want to help them more.
Yeah.
And they're still coming and going to school, even though it looks like this.
Exactly, because they just
even
want
though
to learn.
it's not like really a safe environment to be learning, and they're still eager to learn.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think would happen if a school looked like this in Philly or?
It's unacceptable. I don't think it would pass code.
I don't think that would be possible.
Yeah.
People would be like protesting, right?
and some of the kids, they don't even like. We talk about the desk and seats. Some of the kids, they sit on the ground to learn.
The classroom is over capacities.
Yeah.
Most of them.
So they're like full of kids who are there despite the conditions.
Want to learn. It's funny because like here in America, like your parents have to like force you to get up to go to school, and like these kids, the parents don't even have to tell them to go to school. They wake up, and sometimes they walk miles. We didn't even talk about that. They walk like a couple of miles, like 3 to 4 miles to go to school. They don't have public transportation like here. If you live in a school district, you have your school bus. If you don't live in a school district, they will accommodate you to go to school. But over there, they don't. They don't even have a bicycle.
Yeah, and one of the other things you wanted to do was provide bicycles.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty cool.
Tell us about that.
Well, like I was just explaining to you, they don't even have the basic transportation to go to school. So we're trying to start a program where we can give bicycles to the kids because the road conditions in some of the areas too are horrible to even get a school bus, So maybe if we have a bicycle, routinely, it can probably help more kids to go to school and motivate them more. You know, we have this, and the parents as well. They're like, wow, people like by even when I talk to the president in that school, by even us even talking to them, they're so grateful and so happy that we're trying to do this because they really need help, man. Yeah.
Wow, I saw some other videos of the children not having like shoes.
Yeah.
And that they are walking
Yes.
around barefoot, going to school barefoot.
Yes.
So like I said, it's obviously like a public health thing. They're not really in safe conditions, but they're still very eager to learn. That's like the bottom line for them. They want to learn.
Yeah.
In 2017, we have children sitting on the ground and barefoot.
Yeah.
Going
It's
to
unbelievable.
school. It is unbelievable. One of the other quotes I saw on your Facebook page says, "Every kid is one caring adult away from being a success story."
Yeah.
Which is true. Like, for example, for our GoFundMe page that we started for our trip to Guinea, it just takes like even donating $5. Just your contribution is a contribution towards someone else's education.
Yeah, so the goal is to just let people know that even one person can make a difference.
Yeah, and the vice president, she actually the one that wrote that quote, and that's something she always look back on. Just one person can make a difference. Like even if it's like anything, just supplies. It can really change the kid's life. It just make them happy. It bring them, light. It makes me happy to see them happy.
So you're planning for a trip in December.
Yes.
And what do you plan on doing on that trip?
All right. Well, our goal is definitely to go see what we can do more, and also carry supplies and tools that the kids need to move forward with their education. The school supplies like books, pencils, anything for the kids. Just the basic need that we're talking about. Because then when we go there, we're gonna obviously see the condition more and talk to the president and the faculty and see what more we can do to help. The key thing is just one country at a time. That's what we want to start from. Like, one country at a time, then we move on to the next country and so forth and so on. That's what we said, touching life in West Africa. It's not just Guinea. And later on, we might go to Liberia or Mali, Ivory Coast, Gambia, so forth. And we can do it because we're young, like you said. So
All you got is time, right?
yeah, we have a lot of time.
And
God
just
willing.
to add on to that, I think it's just important that we actually go there and see like that the kids are actually getting the supplies. They
Exactly.
actually see who we are, the people who are helping them. I think that's important
Yeah,
to earn their trust.
And to get feedback to show you guys too that we're really ready for this. Like the person that really actually like motivated me to even do this more, Akon, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Akon has this thing global in Africa. Like we trying to reach out to him, and because something like this, he'll really want to step forward and definitely because he's doing something to light up Africa, which he did wonderful at, and I'm so inspired. And we're trying to help out African kids when it comes to education, and so. That's what
Yeah,
we're
for
trying to
folks that don't know, Akon is a hip hop artist who got fame here in the United States, but then took a lot of the money that he earned here as a recording artist and invested it back into Africa.
So much, man.
And then
Humble.
he provided a lot of solar panels.
Exactly.
Yeah,
there
that's
you
the
go, man.
program.
Yeah, solar
The
panel.
solar panels.
Yeah.
Yeah, because even for some communities, they don't have electricity.
And it's making it safe for the communities, to walk through the night. I saw a couple of videos, so we're just trying to, lead by example. He's a
Yeah.
great guy.
A lot of the feedback that I saw when he did that was people were like, yes, we need to be investing more in our own communities and stop hoarding all this wealth. Because a lot of, the celebrities then will buy mansions and live this extravagant lifestyle. Whereas he took his money and said, no, I'm going to give back to my people and start these programs to help.
Exactly.
That's great. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to the People Power Lunch Hour on WPPM 106.5 FM. You're also watching live on Philly Cam TV. And I'm Vanessa Maria Graber. I'm your host. And I've been speaking with Sadiq Kamara and Mayali Kamara. And they're with the Touching Lives West Africa. It's a new nonprofit that started to help children in different parts of West Africa be able to get to school and have a better life.
Exactly.
So tell folks again who are just tuning in, what's the website that people can go to?
Our website is tlwestafrica.org. That's it. tlwestafrica.org.
All right, that's great.
Uh-huh.
So one of the other things you have a lot of ambitious goals. I love it. But you also wanted to build a youth center.
hmm So the youth center is like after school, the kids can come and they might have like computers and resource to look up their homework. Look up different, just read, look up, do some research on whatever their projects are, and the professors give or a teacher did. And on top of that, keep the kids safe. We want to have other program and health wise. Just the basic hygiene so the females can be educated with that as well. And the vice president, she's really interested doing that, definitely educating the females when it comes to hygiene. That's her motive.
How did you find this school or this program, these people that you've been connecting with and trying to help?
Well, the Liberian one, the vice president, the school in Liberia, the vice president know that school, and the family, they kind of the treasurer, she actually know the president because that's our mom. She's the treasurer, and she know that school. She been to that school before, so she know a lot of people there. So we reach out to them because they need a lot of help, and we see a lot of pictures. And Guinea one, I'm from Guinea, and my family as well. We know the principals, and we know the faculty, and my family actually been visiting the school down there and making sure everything is all right. And we've been contacting with them because they just need help.
Indeed. So it seems like, the organization is like a family affair. You have a lot of different people you're connected to, involved.
Yeah, well, it's a family affair. We all just one big family,
Because everyone in the community is willing to help.
Exactly, because like, what's the code? Like, take the whole village to
it takes
to
the whole village to help.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah,
It takes a village to raise a
Yeah, there you go. So it's more than just everybody that comes in. We treat everybody as a family. We all united.
That's the way to be.
There you go.
So tell us about the West African community in the Philadelphia area. How did your family wind up here, and is it part of a larger diaspora that exists here?
The West African community is actually pretty huge in Philadelphia, especially in Southwest Philadelphia. That's actually, my family is originally from New Jersey, but that's part of the reason we decided to relocate here because my mom has more family here, and she figured being closer to family would be more beneficial for us. And which I do agree, because if I didn't relocate here, I would have never learned about this amazing organization.
Yeah, and I used to live in Nebraska, Omaha, when I first moved from Africa.
Wow.
Me and my dad, it was just me and my dad and my mother. We lived in Omaha. So we moved to Philadelphia because to be around our family. The West African community is very huge. We have Liberians, Sierra Leoneans, Guineans. So it's kind of cool. You still have your culture, and we enjoy each other and company and food, the West African food in a Woodland. So definitely stop by there.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of restaurants and there's some community centers and a large East African community too.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
there
yes.
is.
And like we planning to definitely reach out to the East Africans as well, because maybe, like I said, we just want to start somewhere and make sure everything is right and make sure we start a foundation, then move forward and so on. So maybe in the future we're going to have
Eventually branch out.
touching life in East Africa, touching life in South Africa and North Africa. We all for the people.
Yeah, no, it starts with one city, one neighborhood at a time, and then you continue to build from there.
Exactly, man.
What are some of the challenges you've faced in terms of starting a new organization and, being young people and just wanting to do it yourself and trying to raise money? What are some of the things that have been difficult, but maybe you are trying to overcome?
I would say reaching out to people, maybe people not taking you serious because you are young. And, I don't know if you know about the myth about millennials. People really don't take us serious because they think we're lazy or we're not ambitious. So that's definitely a hardship. Getting people to take you serious, that's the first step. Once they take you serious, then they'll be more interested in your organization.
And another thing is just we need people, we need support, a lot of more support, definitely volunteers, because we can't do this ourselves. So like our website, tlwestafrica.org, if you want to volunteer, you can go on that website and you can put your email in and we'll definitely contact you. We need everybody help, to definitely help Africa and the kids in Africa. That's one thing. On top of that, too, is like the funds. It's a lot of work just to get fund grants and
You got to earn every
just
dollar.
things. Yeah,
right?
every dollar, and it's hard. Definitely, like she said, we're young. Like we're not even 25 yet, and we're just like
21.
we're 21. She's 21, you know, it's hard on us, and we need support. And definitely with funds and fundraisers. We just had a fundraiser. We had a gala.
I saw
Yeah,
that. Everyone
yeah.
was looking
Did you?
sharp.
Yeah, it was very beautiful, and we're gonna have another one next year. Maybe you can come, definitely.
You gotta invite me. I'll buy a ticket.
You too, everybody. But just to reach out to the community, and we just need support. That's why we even came here today, and maybe this will definitely help us.
Yeah, definitely doing outreach, using your community media resources, letting people know. I think that's part of the challenge here is getting people informed because they don't know what you're talking about. And then it's really hard to connect if they're not really aware. So trying to educate people, make them aware of the problems, and then move them into action.
Yeah, and it's just not just Africans. We need everybody. You don't have to be African.
Yeah, we're not only depending on like a certain community. We're accepting to anyone who's willing to help.
Yeah, anybody wants to come to Africa with us too, they can come and really see. More than welcome, We just
And I saw you have a trip planned to Liberia. You hope to go there next year.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes.
So like we were saying earlier, just one country at a time, and we're trying to go to Guinea. It's really hard on us right now because finance, But after that, we see how Guinea goes. Then, because we're trying to go to a country that share border. Liberia and Guinea, they share border. And Liberia really needs help as well. Definitely Guinea, because I don't know, a couple years ago, remember the Ebola crisis? It kind of hurt a lot of family, a lot. And even the medical stuff too. So a lot of family, they lost a lot. Some people, some kids, they don't even have their mothers anymore and their father, because a lot of them are gone. So.
And now is it better?
There's
It's
no more
eradicated.
It
Ebola.
kind
for
of
the
like
most
disappeared
part.
from the news, right?
Yeah.
It was like
You know how the news work. But that's
Yeah,
a
it
whole
was-
different topic. But
it was like really, really in the news, and then you didn't hear about it anymore. But you're right, like real people died and they
Yeah.
lost their lives, and
Yeah.
it affected communities.
like, fortunately, not my family member died, but my dad knew maybe a couple of friends, or I see in the article, and sad because people wasn't aware of, they weren't educated what to do.
Exactly.
Like, remember when the
Like
the swine
hygiene,
flu
simple
happened
hygiene
here?
stuff.
Everybody's like, washing their hands. But like in Africa, if somebody's sick, they want to take care of that person. That's from the kind of their heart, and you don't get the symptom till like a week or two later. Then you already pass around the community. You go to the supermarket, and everybody get it. So we got to educate them. That's by starting this.
Yeah, I mean, if you can't read the public health pamphlets or some of the materials that they're giving out to people, then it's not really useful.
Exactly.
And that's why community radio is really big in Africa.
Yeah,
So-
exactly.
yeah.
It really is.
Yeah, no, we're inspired here at WPPM by all the countries around the world, but especially in Africa that have community radio.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they can't
They
read.
s-
They don't have
Yeah.
access to internet or cable. And it's still a really good way to
reach out.
communicate.
The radio is really important in Africa. Everybody listens to the radio if you don't have TV or a smartphone.
Yeah, no, I find that a lot of people that I meet from East and West Africa here in Philly, like especially like if I take taxi drivers or people that we meet that come to Philly Cam, they're like really into the radio still.
Yeah.
And so, I'm like, yes, no. A lot of the millennials, not you guys, per se, but they're really into other kinds of technologies.
Definitely, man.
But it's good to have all the tools in the toolkit. Similarly with these kids, they need all the resources
Yes.
they can get to be able to be educated.
Exactly.
All right, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we'll have more with Sadiq Kamara, president and founder of Touching Lives in West Africa, and also Mayali Kamara, who's their outreach director. You're listening to the People Power Lunch Hour on WPPM 106.5 FM and on Philly Cam TV. All right, welcome back to the People Power Lunch Hour. I'm Vanessa Maria Graber, your host, and you're watching on Philly Cam TV and listening on WPPM 106.5 FM. For the last half hour, I've been talking to two members of Touching Lives in West Africa. It's a new nonprofit whose mission is to encourage educational attainment for underprivileged youth in West Africa by using educational tools, supplies, and other charitable outreach programs that promote school attendance and success rates. I'm joined by Sadiq Kamara, who's the president and founder, and Mayali Kamara, who's the outreach director. They're two young people who are working really hard to spread awareness and education to folks who are unaware of some of the challenges that children in West Africa face when it comes to going to school and staying in school. We've been talking about their organization, Touching Lives in West Africa. And you said earlier that you wanted to start a hashtag. Tell our listeners more about hashtag. It's a millennial thing, isn't it?
Yeah, hashtag everything, right? So, like I said, somebody that inspired me to do this was Akon. So I kind of want to him to see this, what we're trying to do, maybe try to reach out to him. So everybody on Instagram can hashtag, Touching Live in West Africa, Akon, maybe we need everybody to do it. So if anybody has the opportunity, just go on our website or just screenshot, just Touching Live in West Africa, just have a picture and just hashtag that. Maybe he can notice it and maybe he can reach out to us. Just the opportunity we're trying to do.
Are there any other people who inspire you to do this work?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, my background is, my minor in school was public health. So, in school, in my minor, we learned a lot about how, education is a human right. So that inspires me because I know, without education, people are robbed from a lot of things. You can't really get involved in politics. You can't read just a simple bathroom sign. And I know of personal family members who can't read and write, and I see how much they struggle. I have to pay the phone bills for them. I have to go to the bank with them. They rely on me for everything because they don't have education.
Yeah, and my grandma, just a great point. My grandma just came from Africa just a couple months ago, and she's going to school now because she wants to go to school, and she wants to be educated. She doesn't have to depend on me to read or drive, just those basic needs. And my dad inspired me. He always told me education is key. So he made sure I go to the good school and make sure I was well taken care of. I don't have to worry about nothing, just focus on school. So I have all the opportunity here to become great.
Did your parents also encourage you to go to school and stay
Yes,
in school?
my parents, ever since I was a little kid, always encouraged me to go to school. So I came here when I was 7 years old. I went to elementary school, high school, and I went through college mainly through a scholarship because I always worked so hard in school.
She just graduated this year, by the way.
Like
From biology.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
What school did you go to?
Montclair State University in New Jersey. So
That's great.
Yeah.
yes,
Shout out to Montana.
yes.
No, it's really, really great because a lot of people, they don't have the opportunity to go to college, especially women. We know a lot of women are denied the right to even just go to school, even though they might have the means.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The statistics, 40% of people in West Africa aren't educated, but out of that 40%, most of them are women. Because usually it's just like any other place, guys have a higher priority.
Yeah, in third world country. And we want to change that. I want to make sure everybody has this equal opportunity, to go to school.
Right, yeah, because, you shouldn't be denied access to education
Definitely
because
not.
of your gender.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's unacceptable.
What are some misconceptions people might have about Western Africa? Because I feel like a lot of people aren't exposed to people from
Take
there.
this one.
Sure. I mean, not only West Africa, but just Africa in general. I said, I moved here when I was 7, so going to school, I was bullied a lot because people had the Africa, I guess, that you see on TV is usually not so pleasant. So I would
feed their
think,
children.
even though these pictures we are showing you that's what the school condition is, but that's not how the whole country is. So I think that's a big misconception.
Yeah. And
they think there's monkeys walking on the street, lions,
there's
stuff like that.
Did you ever ride an elephant?
Yeah.
I never seen an elephant in Africa. I seen an elephant in the zoo in Omaha, Omaha, Nebraska, but not here, not in Africa. But Africa is very beautiful, and we have a lot of resource. If Africa, the continent, if we're just alone, and actually just helping each other out, like we'll be unstoppable, to be honest with you. So
Yeah,
there
just
are a lot
like
of
any other
resources.
country, right?
Yeah.
There's rich people,
Mhm.
there's
Yeah.
big cities, it's
Mhm.
modern, but there's also
Yeah.
we have that here in Philadelphia,
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
definitely. So Africa, like the misconception, like they, the people always say, yeah, like she was saying, we have monkeys and elephants. Yeah, we do have that probably in a certain part of Africa, but not everywhere. And the country is very beautiful. If you go to Nigeria, you go to South Africa, even go to Guinea, you go to Conakry, the capital city, is very developed. You go to Liberia as well, but we still lack of help. We still need to develop ourselves more.
Well, yeah, they're still suffering the effects of colonialism and imperialism, and
Yeah.
where they pillaged Africa and
Yeah.
stole a lot of the resources.
There you
Exactly.
go. Yeah, they took a lot of opportunity from Africans, definitely when the Europeans and other countries came in and take all our riches and everything. And after that, oh, well, here's your independence. Do whatever you want to do now. And they make sure before they left, they stripped down everything. Liberia used to be one of the nicest country ever in Africa, and look at it now. Same thing with Guinea. It has a lot of resource. Like Nigeria right now is becoming developed because they got oil. Yeah, but when the oil's gone, how long they gonna stay there? How long Nigeria gonna be? Because they getting all these resources from the Western world, money and everything, loaning them. So that's what's gonna happen, I think, when Nigeria finally run out of oil. They're too comfortable with getting all that money, then it's too late. Then they're going to start owing money and stuff going to get higher and more expensive and so forth, and they're going to go into depression. But Nigeria is really sweet right now, very developed. Same thing with South Africa.
I don't know if you've ever visited any country there at all, but
I have not, but I'm coming with you, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're more than welcome, man. They'll love you.
Well, if I could meet some other community radio people and
You
kinda
definitely
see what they're doing, I
Mhm.
think, all these trips, anytime you travel, there's an opportunity to learn and find another worldview, see how other people live, how they think, and then you can take that back with you.
Yeah.
And when you live in a multicultural society like we have here in Philadelphia, we have people of all nations, all cultures, all ways of life.
It's a melting pot.
Yeah, you can bring those perspectives, So I definitely encourage people to travel if they can, and and even try to talk with people from other countries. You can still take a trip just by having a conversation with somebody who can tell you all about their home country.
Yeah, the diversity is great in Philadelphia, and definitely the high school I went to. I went to Upper Darby High School in Delaware County. It's like the United Nations, they said. It's like 4,000 kids. So everybody's different culture, different languages. So we all willing to help, one another.
That's right. That's what we're all about here on the People Power Lunch Hour, spreading awareness. One of the things that I see a lot of millennials and young people doing is kind of just starting their own business, being entrepreneurs, like starting their own nonprofit, not waiting for other people to come along and present them with an opportunity. Do you think more and more people from your age group are starting to do this?
Yes, we definitely do. Definitely in the African community, we have people that do clothing brand. We have people that have a drink business. Because everybody, when you're young, like around our age, you have a lot of energy and you have a lot of opportunity. When you get a little older, you kind of lay back and you kind of give up on a lot of things. So we're like ready for anything to take over.
We're in the age of technology, so if you have an idea, why not go through with it? There's a lot of ways. Like, for example, if you want to create a website, you can just Google how to create a website. There's resources out there, so
Google
why not
everything.
do it?
Did you Google how to start a nonprofit?
I did. I was up like 3 o'clock in the morning researching and like reading about it for like days and reaching out to people, and like I just started. When I came back from my military order, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm not waiting for nobody. And I just found a great team. My team is awesome. Like, I have her. She just started with us, the vice president. She's not here right now because she's in school. She's about to get her master's degree. So then we have the treasurer. She's our mentor, and she's graduated nurse in Newman. And so my team, it's all females. That's the great part about it.
I think that's your first step, right?
And another great member right here. He's over there. His name is Sadiq as well. he's the advisor, and he's always handling everything we need to do too. So I have a great team. To start a nonprofit, you really need to find a team, because sometimes it gets really hard, really difficult. And also we have somebody as well in New York, Fanta, and she worked with us too, and she helped us out a lot, definitely with marketing and everything.
So finding the right people to
This
work
is really
together.
important.
Yeah. So, I mean, even in a business too, having the right partner or people around you that can help you launch the business.
Yeah.
What do you hope to do in 5 years? You know, like you are already on your way to accomplishing some of these goals.
In 5 years, hopefully we're really branched out, and by then we're like on our 6th country mission trip.
Yes.
So we just don't want to give up. Like, we just want to keep pushing and not forget what our main mission is, which is to help kids go to school.
Yeah. In 5 years, I hope that we definitely helped out just a lot of schools in West Africa. So it can be Guinea, Liberia, Mali, Ivory Coast, multiple schools, and leading by example and then spreading the word. And that's what we really, really try to do in 5 years, ma'am.
And hopefully have linked up with Akon.
Yeah. Hopefully we do that
And
by the
many
end of this year,
right?
you know.
And
So
many other
so
stars.
please hashtag Touching Live in West Africa, Akon.
If you know Akon, tell him to holler at Touching Live
in West Africa. Or if you know any African celebrities or anybody that's willing to help us, not just Akon, we need support. And if anybody wants to support us, you can go on tlwestafrica.org. So that's tlwestafrica.org, TL. And you can subscribe to our newsletter, you can donate, and you can learn more about our organization. It's more detailed than ever.
That's right. You guys have a lot of really good resources. I was checking it out on your Facebook page.
Yeah, we have our Facebook page too. So Facebook page is Touching Live in West Africa. Thank you.
All right, if you're just tuning in, this is the People Power Lunch Hour on WPPM 106.5 FM and watching on PhillyCam TV. And I've been speaking with Sadiq Kamara, who's the president and founder of Touching Lives in West Africa, and Mayali Kamara, who is their outreach director. And we've just been talking about some of their goals that they have with their new nonprofit, doing outreach and educating people and trying to raise funds for their programs that they're trying to launch in West Africa, helping children have the resources they need to be able to go to school. And so I just wanted to talk more about, children who might not have parents who are supportive. You know, they might be working. They might not have a parent in the household. Like you said, their parents might have died.
Yes.
There's children in orphanages. What advice would you give to them? Because I think for a lot of us, our parents were very encouraging and supportive, provide that structure. But what about for the people who might not come from those households that have an encouraging parent?
I would say that even though they don't have that encouraging aspect at home, they still have people out there that care, such as an organization like this. That's why we do it, because we do care about them. So just don't forget that you do have, even though they're not your family, they still care about you to come and bring you supplies, pencils. Just don't forget what the end goal is, which is we want you to go to school.
Yeah, I agree with her 100%. Definitely with this organization too. Like it's kind of sad people don't believe in young kids like us. I feel like everybody, and definitely in the African community, should be like behind us, because there's kids like us that really want to help the next future, the next generation. So everybody should be behind us 110%. It's not like we're trying to do anything. It's positivity here. So like she was saying, like if they feel like, nobody's there to support them to move forward, we got them. Got their back. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of NGOs from other countries that come in, especially to countries like, or continents like Africa or Southeast Asia. And they're not maybe part of the culture or representative of the people there. And they try to give them these things they may not need. How important is it to have kind of like the cultural and ethnic background to do this type of work? Even though, anybody can really help out. But I think there's something unique about being from that country and then being able to, give back to them.
I think that's really important. And that's all sociology. Like, if you see someone who looks like you, you're more likely to be more comfortable around them and more willing to trust them. So, for example, when I was in school, most of my professors were Caucasian men. But when I did have like an African American female professor, not that I respected her more, I like appreciated it more, kind of. So it was nice to see someone who looked like me. So I think when people see people who look like them, they're more willing to trust them. I think it's important.
And like for us is like when we take supplies to Africa, like me and her and the whole team, they and not nothing against other people that are not from our country. It's just like they're grateful because it's like we didn't forget them when we came to America. You know, they appreciate that more. Like, wow, my son came and helped this school. You know, my daughter came and helped this school. So they're even more happier. So, and on top of that too, like we know the culture, we know the language, we know the people, and we know what they really, really need down there. And sometimes facts or Google doesn't say everything else. You know, it's good that I can call my uncle in Africa and he can FaceTime me and like go to the school and let me talk to the principal and see what's going on. And I can see it from my own eyes, or I can even go down there. So
Yeah, no, that's important because, there's so many development programs that are not successful because there's a disconnect between
Yeah.
like what they're trying to organize in the United States or in Europe and what's actually happening on the ground.
yeah, exactly.
And so they wind up building things that are kind of like useless.
Yeah, there you go. And we don't want to do that. Whatever we build, whatever we're trying to do, we want to make it useful. So that's what we're trying to do. Anything we do with the youth program or the bicycle program or anything we're trying to do, we want to make sure everybody has the opportunity to use it and it's actually a good cause that we're using it for. Like we just started. We're ready.
And that's part of what these trips are, right? To
Yes.
collect data
mission
and
trip,
information
yes.
and say like, we observed these things, we heard from the local people.
Exactly.
And then, when you're trying to recruit donors, then you can use that
There you go.
information.
Mm-hmm.
The end goal is to actually have results, maybe to like increase that statistic. I mean, decrease the statistics of people who aren't educated.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and are there other like organizations that you have collaborated with or want to collaborate with?
We haven't collabed with any organization yet. We'll love to. So if any other organization out there that willing to work with us, we're more than grateful to listen and work together because we all have one goal here. It doesn't matter if you're not an African organization, if you're willing to work with us, we're willing. But the organization that we're really trying to work with, the UN.
eventually, obviously, we would want to work with the
United Nations.
or UNICEF, any of
Yeah.
those big organizations.
Yeah,
That's
that's the big ones, and they will definitely help us a lot.
Is there a big presence of the UN or UNICEF in Guinea or Liberia?
Well, there's a lot of present in the UN, and
For-
in Africa, period. What I know and what I'm aware of. But I don't know for sure a lot in Guinea and Liberia, but I know for sure a lot of third world countries. There's a lot of UN down there.
Yeah, and they have a big platform to get the message out, which I think is like
Yes.
super important.
Exactly.
With all their ambassadors like Angelina Jolie.
Yeah, I love her.
Yes.
Well,
I like
yeah.
her too. I love her too.
Well, that's another celebrity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's very big on
Yeah.
philanthropy. That's the main reason I really like her.
Yeah. She's humble, and humbleness is key.
Do you think you'll be doing philanthropic work your whole life?
I think so, definitely. Like, even ever since high school, I've always been into volunteering. Even if I end up choosing a different career path, I would always be willing to volunteer for different things. So, yes, I know I will.
Yeah, same here. And also this organization, me and everybody just started with Sadiq and everybody else. We want to leave this with our kids and so forth and so people and just sit back and let it grow. So definitely, and I'm always gonna be helping out. Watching back.
I find that whenever I do charitable work, it's a good feeling.
It is a
right?
very
like
good
you feel
feeling.
good. You feel more optimistic, maybe more like
Humble.
Yes. I mean, for me, it makes me feel like I have a purpose in life if I'm doing something to help other people.
Yeah, they appreciate it so much. Whatever we give them, and that's what it makes me so happy and continue to give. Because they don't have the opportunity. So just for us to give them like a backpack full of pencils and, other tools they need for school, they're more than grateful. and that makes me happy, and it's a blessing.
And then you can use those skills that you've learned for this project and maybe apply them to other projects.
Exactly. And in the future, that's what we're definitely trying to do.
There's a lot of people they don't volunteer. They don't
Millennials.
not just millennials. I mean, there's people of all ages who are just kind of doing their own thing, you know, maybe working a full-time job, you know, just living day by day.
Exactly.
You know, and for whatever reason, there's many reasons I think people are not engaged. What does like community mean to you? You know, because that's what you formed here, community, and you're connecting to community.
Well, I think like maybe the reason some people don't really volunteer is because they don't really see the use in it. So I feel like the first step is actually getting them there and actually them being there and actually doing something and seeing the results. Then maybe like they'll get the good feeling. Then they'll see the purpose of volunteering. So I think community is just all about like getting together for a specific reason, like having a common, everyone in having a common goal. And for us, it's like getting these kids to better their education. So that's our goal as a community.
Yeah, she answered that perfectly. Like that's what, like I agree 100% what she's trying to say. You know, one goal, one mission, one team.
Yeah, and having a support network too, right?
Yep.
Because having a group of people that are coming together to do something good, that creates this kind of like loving, caring atmosphere.
Exactly.
Well, that's what we're all about here at Philly Camp.
There you
Loving, caring people. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to the People Power Lunch Hour watching on Philly Camp TV. We're on WPPM 106.5 FM. I've been speaking with Sadiq Kamara, president and founder of Touching Lives in West Africa, and Mayali Kamara, who is their outreach director. And these are two young people that have been doing really great work trying to raise awareness, money, and resources for children in West Africa to try to improve their rate of going to schools. All right. Well, tell people again one more time about your two campaigns or your fundraising campaign. And I think you had a URL that you wanted to share.
Yes. So right now we are planning on going to Guinea in December for a 10-day mission trip. And we really need a lot of support in order to be able to make the trip successful. So we have a GoFundMe campaign going on right now. So if you would like to donate, it's gofundme.com/TL West Africa Guinea trip. That's for Guinea, it's GUINEA trip. So TL West Africa, GoFundMe.com/TL West Africa. You can also find the link in our Instagram bio. So Instagram account is TL West Africa.
Yeah, we also have a Facebook and a website.
And Twitter.
And Twitter.
And that's all TL West Africa.
Yes.
All right. And then we got to create that hashtag.
Yes, hashtag touching life in West Africa.
TL West Africa
TL
Akon.
There
Yeah.
you go. She
All
got
right.
it.
We're going to get to Akon. Then he's going to come on WPPM.
Yeah, I really want to meet
That would be
Akon.
We're going to
nice.
come back
Yeah.
and do an interview with him.
Yes.
That would be really great. You know, it's just good to get more people involved in this effort. And really anybody can contribute and help.
And like I was saying earlier, Akon and any celebrity can help, but what Akon is doing is amazing work. So if he sees what we trying to do, definitely the youth, he's going to definitely try to help us as little as he can. So that's why we're trying to reach out to him.
And Oprah, too, with her angel.
Yeah,
network.
Oprah. Warren
Oh, yeah,
Buffett
she
while we
has
at
a
it.
school in South Africa.
Let's go for all the people who have the big dollars. to
Yeah,
spend.
definitely, because we need it all.
Well, you know, people are generous. We raised some money here during our fund drive, which was a couple of weeks ago. And we found that a lot of people were willing to give, you know, if you give them the opportunity and you ask. So, again, I want to thank all the people that contributed during our fund drive and, you know, gives us the ability to share this information because it's really important that we all work together to put out these good programs and letting people know how they can make a difference, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's what it's all about, like one person being able to help one child.
Yeah, and it doesn't take much.
That's right. Yeah, one of the other things he said was education is a crucial part of a child's development. So what happens when a kid doesn't go to school?
Well, just thinking of it in a timeline basis, you don't go to school, like, you get older, you're going to be pretty much lost. It's, like I said, it is a human right, because if you don't have education, you're wrapped from so many things. There's pretty much, like, especially now that we live in an age of technology, they can't really use technology because they aren't educated.
Right, you can't even text someone
No.
if you can't read.
Yeah.
And it becomes much harder to get employment.
Yeah, and like,
Yep.
and the kids that don't have the opportunity, what if they might have been the next Obama, like Oprah, or Will Smith or anybody, so just give everybody the opportunity.
Yeah, I think of things of like, that kid could be the next scientist to cure a disease, or the
Yeah.
next person to build a rocket trip to Mars. Like,
Exactly.
who knows?
Exactly.
The possibilities are infinite. Did you think that your military career had something to do with you wanting to kind of take action?
The military gave me leadership and discipline and integrity. So yeah, it definitely helped me a lot. And actually, a lot of people in the military are very supportive of this. A couple of my friends, they actually came to the gala. One of my friends is Atchison. She's so helpful, and she's actually starting a book drive for the kids, back to school kids. I think it's happening in September. I'm definitely going to support that, and I hope she's watching.
Let us know. Send us the information.
Yeah,
and we'll
but
put it
she's
out
so
there.
given, man. She's in my squad, and the military really did help me, and they all supported what I'm doing for the cause. Yes.
That's good. It'll definitely give you leadership
Yeah,
skills. I feel
yeah.
like a lot of people coming out of the military are
Yes.
ready to
Yeah,
do
definitely.
something.
Yeah.
But you're still in there, right?
Yeah, I'm still in the Army. I'm in the Army National Guard Reserve. My unit is 1067, Transportation Unit in Northeast. Yeah, I love my unit. Everybody take care of me. My squad leader, Sergeant Kissinger, she's always grateful.
Shout out to the squad.
Oh, yeah. Who else? Sergeant Conley. He always take care of me, whatever I need. Everybody take care of me. All my leadership. They always make sure I have everything I need. And the Army taught me a lot. Definitely when I went away for basic training and AIT and everything.
That's great.
And it helped me become a police officer too.
All right. Well, I want to thank you both for coming down to Philly Cam
Thank you.
and for doing
Yeah.
this work
Mhm.
and for inspiring me and hopefully many others to, get involved and, help make a difference.
Yeah,
Thank
and
you.
thank you so much, ma'am, for having us, and we appreciate everything you did for us today, and thank you. That's
Yeah.
all we can say. Just follow us on everything TL West Africa.
Yeah, one more time.
TL West
West Africa. Like, think about it, touching lives in West Africa. We just want to give back, touch the life of the kids. It's a beautiful
Literally
name.
touching lives.
So follow us, and anybody willing to help us, go on our website.
So
and
you can volunteer.
volunteer,
you can
and
donate.
it is really good for like high school seniors that want to volunteer, or college freshmen. I know you're about to start school, and if you guys want to volunteer, our email is info@tlsafrica.org, and we're going to reach out right to you as well.
Yeah, maybe even some of the Greek organizations on
Yeah.
campus. They're always doing charitable work. So this would be something that they could support.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
You're
Grateful.
welcome. If you want to hear more stories like these, or you yourself want to be a guest on the People Power Lunch Hour, we're here every Wednesday at 12 noon, and we broadcast live from Philly Cam Studios on the TV channels and on our community radio station, WPPM. You can sign up online to become a guest, or you can contact us at info@phillycam.org. I'm your host, Vanessa Maria Graber, and all of our People Power Lunch Hour episodes are available on the Philly Cam website at phillycam.org. And also, if you want to get involved with Philly Cam and you want to create media and learn to do what we do, we're having orientations coming up starting the week of August 7th. So again, check out our website, phillycam.org. It has all of that information. And we're going to leave you for today. Up next is the Sprouts Show. We hope you'll keep listening and keep watching to Philly Cam.
Thank
All
you.
right. That's going to do it for this edition of the People Power Lunch Hour. Thanks for listening.